Okay, real question. What would you say if I told you there's a phone out now with IP69K water resistance, a periscope camera, a massive battery, and a gorgeous AMOLED display for $340? Because that's exactly what Tecno is claiming with the Camon 50 Pro. And before you say, Desi, this sounds too good to be true, I hear you, I said the same thing. So I've been putting this phone through its paces for 2 solid weeks to find out if Tecno is actually delivering or just throwing impressive sounding specs at a price tag and hoping nobody actually looks too closely. Spoiler, the answer is genuinely interesting, so let's get into this. I'm Desi, and this is my full review of the Tecno Camon 50 Pro. Whether you're on a budget, whether you're in a country where this phone is primarily sold, or whether you're a tech enthusiast wanting to know if Tecno is actually delivering on this video is for you. So let's get into it. Now, first things first, this phone looks and feels incredible for what it actually cost. I want to be clear about that. When I first picked up this device, I genuinely did a double take. It's 7.4mm thin. For context, that's genuinely slim for any smartphone in 2026, let alone one with a 6000 mAh battery. How they made this possible, I have no idea, but I appreciate it. The malachite green has this beautiful iridescent shimmer that shifts dimmer on how lights hit on it. In person, it looks very premium. You're also getting moonlight black, nebula titanium, ethereal blue, fair green, and lavender mist. We are getting 6 color options, so there's something for everyone. But here's something that blew my mind, and I think it doesn't get enough attention. This device has IP68 and IP69K water resistance certification. IP68 means it can survive up to 2 meters in water for 30 minutes. That's a standard we all know. IP69K is the bonus. That rating means the phone can handle high pressure, high temperature water jets. We are talking heavy rain, pool water, even a rinse under tap without any stress. On a $340 phone, flagship phones charge you about $800 or more for this level of protection. I have my own personal issues. First one is there's no 3.5mm headphone jack. Especially for the phone at this price range and the category it finds itself, I personally would have wished to have a headphone jack because I'm moving back towards wired headphones rather than relying solely on wireless. But there is also the issue of this supporting USB 2.0. In 2026, it should have at least USB 3.0 to allow for faster transfer speeds when transferring things like images from your phone to a laptop or something. But 2.0 in 2026 is kind of a red flag, personally, to me. It's not a deal breaker, it's perfectly usable, but these are things I wish would have been added at least to this device. Now let's talk about the display. The display is a 6.78 inches AMOLED display at 144Hz refresh rate with HDR support. And I have to say, watching content on this screen is a genuinely enjoyable experience. The colors are rich and punchy, the blacks are deep, and that 144Hz makes everything feel incredibly smooth. Scrolling through your feed, swiping between apps, gaming, it all just feels premium. The screen has no business being this good for $340. Now I have to address the 1.5K display claim Tecno has made on this device because I feel like I do need to be straight with you guys when it comes to things that concern claims like this. Tecno markets this as a 1.5K panel at 1208 by 2644 pixels. And yes, the physical hardware panel is that resolution. But here's the nuance. The GPU inside actually renders at 1080p, and Tecno's own T1 chip then upscales the output to the panel's native resolution. Install any third-party display app and it reports 1080p. Does it look bad? No. It looks sharp, around 429 pixels per inch. You're not going to see individual pixels, but I feel like you deserve to know exactly what you're buying rather than just marketing headline. The screen is excellent. The 1.5K label is a bit of a stretch. Those two things can be both true. Also, stereo speakers with 24-bit high-res audio certification are on board. For media consumption, this phone genuinely sounds better than most of its competitors at this price. It's a big win. Inside, you've got the MediaTek Helio G200 Ultimate on a 6nm chip architecture with 8GB RAM and 256GB internal storage. For everyday use, social media, streaming, calling, navigating, this phone feels smooth. No complaints. The 144Hz display actually makes it feel snappier than the chip alone would suggest, which is a clever pairing. But let's be real, the G200 Ultimate is a mid-range chip and it performs like one. Once you get into sustained gaming sessions, heavy multitasking, or processing intense apps, you will start to notice the ceiling. It handles PUBG Mobile and Free Fire comfortably at medium to high level settings. Push any harder and the frame rate gets inconsistent. Tecno includes liquid cooling to manage thermals during long sessions, and this helps. But the chip is what it is. Manage your expectations and you'll be perfectly fine. The 4G only solution is worth addressing directly. I feel like this is a deliberate decision by Tecno for its primary market in Africa or some part of Asia where the 4G infrastructure is dominant and solid. If you're in Accra, Lagos, Nairobi, honestly, I'm not missing much when it comes to the 4G variant of this device because today 4G is perfectly fine for these regions. But if you're thinking of owning this device for 4 to 5 years based on Tecno's claim of 5 years OS update, I feel like the 4G variant over the years will feel limiting when 5G finally rolls out and becomes dominant in these regions. For the software, it's running HiOS 16 based on Android 16 and it comes with it right out of the box. No updates needed. I'll be honest, HiOS does have some level of bloatware. It's minimal compared to previous years, but it does still have some bloatware. It has pre-installed apps you didn't ask for. A heavy UI skin, settings sometimes feel cluttered. It's not unusable in any way, but I feel like it could have been cleaner. What is impressive though is the support commitment. Tecno is offering 3 major OS updates and 5 years of security patches. Android 16 today, it will be supported through Android 19. And this is on a $340 phone. That's rare and it matters a lot for value over time. Now to the cameras. It's the main show or the main event of this smartphone and I want to go deep into it because Tecno has put a lot into its capabilities and it deserves an appropriate breakdown. The Camon 50 Pro series is built around what Tecno calls the 5 imaging aces. 5 camera capabilities they are specifically proud of. Let me take you through each specific one and I'll be honest about where they deliver and where they fall short. Starting with the main camera or the primary sensor. It's a 50 megapixel Sony LYTIA 700C, a 1/1.56 inches sensor, f1.8 aperture with optical image stabilization. The Sony LYTIA 700C is not a budget sensor. It shows up in phones costing significantly more than $340 and the results reflect that. Daylight shots are sharp, well exposed and detailed. The color processing leans warm and vibrant, which is a deliberate stylistic choice that makes photos look great on social media. If you're a photographer who wants clinical color accuracy, you want to spend time in manual mode. But for most people, most of the time, the automatic processing produces photos that looks excellent and immediately shareable. Low light performance is genuinely solid thanks to the OIS keeping things stable and a well-tuned ninth algorithm. This is a strong main camera. There are no compromises to it. Now to the Ace 1, the telephoto camera. This is the headliner and the feature that genuinely sets this phone apart from everything else at its price point. You're getting a 50 megapixel f2.4 aperture 1/2.88 inch sensor with 3x optical zoom and OIS, and a maximum digital zoom that goes all the way to 60x. Let me be precise about what this means. The 3x optical zoom is the real glass doing real optical work, not a crop, not a digital trick. At 3x, you're getting genuinely clean, sharp images with proper subject separation. Portrait, architectural detail, reaching across a crowd at an event, this lens handles it beautifully in good lighting conditions. Tecno claims this is the only telephoto zoom lens available at this price range, and they are largely right about that. The standard Camon 50 doesn't have this. Competing phones at $340 generally give you a digital zoom or skip telephoto entirely. Beyond 3x, you're getting into hybrid and digital zoom territory, going up to 60x maximum. Now, 60x digital zoom on any phone produces images that are soft, and that's not a Tecno-specific criticism. That's basically physics. But having the optical foundation of a 3x periscope lens makes the zoom range more usable all the way through. The sweet spot is 3x to about 10x, where you're still getting genuinely useful sharp images. Beyond that, use it for framing and context rather than expecting pixel perfect detail. Ace 2 is what they call flash snap. Flash snap is Tecno's answer to action photography, and FlashSnap 2.0 is a meaningful upgrade. The phone supports up to 5x FlashSnap burst capture, and what makes this interesting is the AI FlashSnap sensor, an AI detection system that watches the scene through the viewfinder and enhances the timing and scene success rate of capturing fast-moving objects. Think of kids running, sports moments, a bird about to take off in flight, those kind of things. It's able to capture it accurately and precisely without it looking blurred out. The AI detection adds a real-world benefit. You're not just holding down a shutter button, hoping for the best. The system is actively anticipating motion. It's not perfect, but it's very useful when it works really well. Ace 3 is what they call aqua mode, which is basically underwater photography. This one genuinely surprised me, and I think it's one of the most creative features on this phone. The Tecno Camon 50 Pro has a dedicated aqua mode, an underwater photography mode that Tecno describes as the smartest and most user-friendly underwater photography experience in the industry. This is why the IP69K certification isn't just a spec on the sheet. Tecno actually designed the camera software around the fact that you can take the phone underwater. Aqua mode adjusts the white balance, exposure, and color processing to compensate for the way water affects light and color. Anyone who has tried to take photos underwater with a regular phone knows that the results are usually washed out, blue shifted, and flat. Aqua mode is specifically built to address those problems. At the beach, at a pool, at a waterfall, this phone can go there and has a mode built specifically for what you're going to photograph when you get there. I think that's genuinely clever product design. Now, Ace 4 is what they call the portrait, your full focal length coverage. The portrait system on the Camon 50 Pro covers what Tecno describes as the golden portrait focal length range, 24mm to 70mm fully covered. This is a direct reference to Sony's photography philosophy and the standard zoom range used in professional portrait photography for decades. What this means in practice is that you're not logged into one portrait mode at a fixed focal length the way many phones actually work. You can shoot a wide environment portrait at 24mm, a classic head and shoulder portrait at 50mm, or a compressed flattering telephoto portrait at 70mm, and the phone's bokeh and subject detection algorithms are turned for each of those focal lengths. The background blur looks natural across the range, and the edge detection around the subject is accurate. For anyone who takes a lot of portraits, and with a 50mm selfie camera on the front too, the phone is built for you. And now to their fifth ace, the Night Mode 2.0. Night Mode 2.0 brings two meaningful upgrades: enhanced AI processing for low light scenes and a dedicated tripod mode. The AI enhancement works in the background to identify noise, reconstruct detail, and balance exposure in low light environments. And the results in my testings were consistently impressive for a phone at this price. Night Shot retains detail in shadows without blowing out highlights, which is a harder balance to achieve than it sounds. And the tripod mode is a bonus for anyone who shoots at night with the phone mounted on a stand. Rather than applying the same aggressive motion compensation you need for handheld shots, tripod mode lets the sensor take longer, cleaner exposures because it knows the phone is stable. The results in proper low light with the tripod are noticeably better, less noise, more dynamic range. It's a small thing that serious mobile photographers will appreciate. Now let's talk about the ultra-wide and selfie cameras. The ultra-wide camera is 8MP with autofocus, f2.2 aperture, and 111.4 degree field of view. Importantly, it supports 5cm macro photography, so you can get extremely close to small objects for detailed shots of flowers, textures of food, and so on. The autofocus on the ultra-wide is genuinely useful and not something every phone at this price includes. That said, the 8MP is where Tecno made a budget compromise to fund the rest of the camera system. The ultra-wide is visibly lower quality than the main and telephoto cameras, especially in low light. For casual wide shots and macro, it works. Don't expect consistency with the other lenses. Up front is a 50MP lens with autofocus eye tracking. The eye tracking autofocus is a standout feature here. The camera locks onto your eyes and maintains focus even if you move or turn your head slightly. For group photos, for selfie videos, or for portrait selfies, it means the camera is always focused on what matters. The resolution means selfies are genuinely detailed and croppable. It's a strong front camera. And now to the battery. The battery on this phone is a 6150mAh battery, and that number tells the story on its own. But what makes it even more impressive is the context. This is packed in a phone that is 7.4mm thin. These two things don't usually coexist. Slim phones sacrifice battery, big battery comes in chunky bodies. Tecno somehow did both. In real-world use, I consistently got about 2 full days to moderate use on a single charge. On heavy days with shooting on the camera, GPS navigation, long streaming sessions, gaming, I still finish the day with about 20 to 30% remaining. Battery anxiety is simply not a thing on this device, and for users in a market where reliable access to charging ports isn't always guaranteed, that stamina is not just convenient, it's practical importance. It charges with 45 watts wired with no wireless charging option. 45 watts will deliver a solid charge. You're looking about roughly 30 to 40 minutes for meaningful top-up. During these past 2 weeks of testing this phone, pushing it to its limits, testing battery capabilities, camera capabilities, screen resolution, and a lot more, I must say, as a final verdict, this phone does punch above its price point for what it can actually do, and it's really impressive. The things this phone does well, it does exceptionally well for a $340 phone. The IP68 plus IP69K water resistance is genuinely rare at any price point. The camera system, specifically the periscope telephoto with the 60x range, the FlashMemo 2.0 action capture, the aqua mode, the focal length portrait coverage, night mode is the most ambitious imaging package I've seen at this price. Not all 5 aces are equal in execution, but the ambition is real and a lot of it delivers. The Sony LYTIA 700C main sensor and the 3x periscope telephoto in particular punch well above their weight. The 7.4mm body hiding the 6150 mAh battery is an engineering achievement. Android 16 out of the box with 5-year support is a long-term value statement that most phones twice the price can't match. The thing this phone gets wrong matters too. The 4G limitation, considering this phone is going to get some support, at least OS-wise, for 3 years and security for 5 years, whilst 5G may be rolled out in our country, it's a disappointment I wish would have been rectified, with at least this being a Pro model. But all in all, I would rank this device a solid 8 over 10 when it comes to overall usability, performance, and what this device sells as a device. For the price, you can't go wrong with the Camon 50 Pro, and it's something you should definitely check out for yourself. This is my verdict. If this video helped you, consider leaving a like on this video, drop a comment to ask your questions on this device, things I may not have covered out. Ask those questions in the comments, I'll reply you. Share the video with someone who is considering purchasing the device, and hit that subscribe button. I'm Desi, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again in my next video. Peace!